Well, good morning. Today is Monday, October 23rd, and I just watched the Mucho Mama on Instagram, and she's described exactly how I feel this morning. I have a hangover from food. Christy and I went to Potbelly for lunch, and I got a sandwich called the Wreck-It, which will just describe how much stuff was on it, and a bag of jalapeno chips, and I had a chocolate malt and a cookie. I And it tasted so good too. It really did, but it's just not how I feel today. I don't know. I'm really sluggish. I have to, on Friday, I'm going to rewatch the beginning of, or no, Saturday morning actually. Saturday morning, I'm going to watch the beginning of this video today to see how I look. Because how I look is how I feel. Because I feel like crap. It really wasn't worth it. At the time, I thought it was. I really thought it was. I thought, you have a lost weekend, Sandy. This is who you are. But that's not who I am. But that's who I'm becoming. And I don't like who I'm becoming. So I have to kick her to the curb because she is not my friend. She is just not my friend. She is the old Sandy trying to work her way back into my everyday life. She's starting with the weekends. She's trying one day at a time. Before it was just one day. Usually it was just Sundays. But then she thought, I'm not going to go forward because she seems to know how to get her Mondays back in check. Let's go backwards. Let's go Saturday. Because we'll do Saturday and Sunday. Then we'll work on Monday. I know how my mind works. And, it's a strange place to go. So I don't advise anybody going in there. But I have come to that conclusion. Last night I just was feeling so bloated, and I just didn't want to go to bed because I knew that I'd have acid reflux, and so I stayed up till like 2:30, I think it was, and I didn't get up this morning. Well, I woke up at 9:30. It was funny because I was having this really weird dream. It was really, really odd. I was looking out my back window, and Jeff Goldblum, who's I could take or leave, it doesn't matter to me either way. But I did see him on the Graham Norton show. It was one of the last shows I watched before I went to bed. But anyway, he was in my backyard hanging up clothes on a clothesline, and the clothes were too heavy for the line and they were falling. And then the front doorbell rang, and I don't know if I'm going to age myself, but Webster came in the front door and turned on my TV and was watching TV. And he was complaining because his channels weren't the same as they were at his. And I said, well, that's because you have Comcast and I have AT&T. Duh. And then my husband came into the room, who was Jerry Seinfeld, and looked out the window. And I said to him, I don't like that Julia Louis-Dreyfus is pulling the tree out of the ground. It's not going to grow now. And he says, you're right. We're going to have to go out there. And so as we were going out, I said to him, isn't this strange that your best friend is a woman and my best friend is a man? And he said, yeah. I said, well, I have to put my football helmet on first before I go out. And as I was putting my football helmet on and I was all set in gear, and Danny was helping me, and he tapped me on the head and he says, all set to go. And I said, oh, okay. And then the phone rang and I went, no, now I got to take the helmet off. And actually my real phone was ringing. And that's what woke me up. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus was on Curb Your Enthusiasm, an old episode that I was watching, and that's why she was in my dream. And they were talking about Jerry Seinfeld. So it explains my dream, although it was a weird dream, I will tell you. I'm one of the odd people that remember my dreams. When they're that weird, how can you not remember them, really? But anyway, so before I went to bed, I was thinking how I'm going to attack this week. Because I have a very, very challenging week. Not only did I eat out yesterday, I'm eating out tonight. I'm eating out Wednesday, and now I just found out my cousin's coming in to town for the weekend, and then we're going Thursday to watch Sophia's concert, and then afterwards we're going out for Chinese. So this is going to be a very challenging week for me. So I have decided, which is probably good, bad, not good, but I'm going to eat different this week. I have to So I'm not going to show you my food. I guess that's what I'm going to tell you is I'm not going to show you my food. And I know that's probably steering myself in the wrong direction. But I've found that I'm becoming so obsessed with food and what I'm eating and how I'm eating it and how many points it is and blah, 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 that I'm kind of losing the joy out of eating. And, you know, food is used for everything. For any kind of celebration, it's always around food. And I celebrate being with my sisters. I celebrate being at Sophia's concert, and I celebrate being with my friends. And I'm going to choose wisely. I'm not going with the thought, well, you're eating out, you might as well eat crappy. I have no intentions of doing that. I do intend. I'm choosing wisely, but I'm probably not going to eat right earlier in the day to kind of offset the extra points that I'm going to have at night. Not the way to do it. I completely agree. Not the way to do it. But it's the way I have to do it this week to get through this week. Because I want to just maintain this week. And if I eat my smart points and then still go out to eat, and even when I go out to eat, I have a difficult time staying within my smart points. I'm just not going to do it. And not that anybody should take a vacation from, eating. But I need to take a 1 week vacation from Weight Watchers. And I know that's not the way to do it, but I just need to take 1 week off, regroup, and start anew. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I will think of something else to do for the rest of the day on this video. Since I'm not showing you food, I will put something else on. But just for this week only, I'm not going to show you my food. I think that if I show you my food, or talk about my food, it's going to put me in a guilty state, and I'm going to feel guilty. So for 1 week, and not even 1 week, for 5 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm taking a vacation from showing you my food. On Saturday, I'm going to watch this video, and I'm going to start anew, and Saturday's going to be the beginning of my new week. And that's the way I'm going to start it, and that's the way I'm going to do it. So enough about me. What about you? What did you guys do this weekend? Let me know. Okay, let's go for a walk. Over the weekend, my tree turned different color. Isn't that pretty? Look at how pretty that is. Soon enough, all the trees will be that color. It's getting a little breezy. I'm glad I got my walk in when I did. I'm going to go into the garage because we're supposed to get 100% chance of rain. It's supposed to go up to 70 degrees today. And then the rain's going to come, and tomorrow our high is only supposed to be 53. So I think we had our last big hurrah of the nice weather. I slept with my window open last night. It was so nice. It's kind of funny. I stopped to talk to a neighbor across the street, and we just were talking for the longest time. I'd say we were probably talking about 25 minutes. And her husband came out, and I think he probably saw an old woman talking to a young girl and thought, oh, I'll go rescue my wife from that woman. And actually, I was kind of glad he came out because he rescued me because she was a talker. She was interesting. She really was, but it was a long talk. Okay, I'm going to go in now and, well, first I'm going to feed my birds, and then I'm going to go in and have some water, and then get on with my day. I'll take you with me. Okay, just because I'm not showing you what I'm eating doesn't mean I'm not going to share a quote with you, because I still have my daily quotes. And today's quote is, weight loss is not a physical challenge. It's a mental one. And I completely agree with this one too. I have to make sure that I know that I have to have my mind in the right state of mind, and I'm going to do it this week, even though I'm taking my little vacation. Okay, I thought of something that I'm going to fill the rest of the time with since I'm not showing you my food. I watched a 5-question tag on West Virginia Running Don's channel, and he just challenged everybody that watched the video to do the tag. He thought that I had done it before, and I looked in my videos and I don't recall seeing that I did do it. So, but if not, it's a repeat time. I'm going to do 1 question a day. That'll kind of fill the time in for the food. And the question I picked today was, name 3 YouTubers that you watch. Well, the first one I watch, all 3 of them I watch faithfully. I watch a lot of videos, but my top 3. The first one would be West Virginia Running Don. All my life, I've always wanted to be a runner, but I've never ran. I've always, since I was 16, thinking I was going to die at any moment. And so I thought I can't do anything that's going to exert myself because I'll have a heart attack and I'll die. And that's just my whole mind frame for the last 50 years, well, maybe not 50, but close to 50 years of my life, thinking I was going to die any minute if I did anything physical, and that's probably why I gained so much weight. Duh, now another aha moment. But I did go to like aerobics classes and things like that, but I never pushed my heart to its limit because I was always afraid I was going to keel over and drop dead. I find so much joy in watching him run. He runs so much. He's going to do an ultra marathon. I think it's this week, in a couple weeks. I don't know if it's this weekend or in a couple weeks. You'd think since I watch all of his videos, I would know. I just know he's really training. He ran a marathon, just his own marathon last Sunday. He did run a marathon a couple weeks ago. And when he runs, I'm picturing myself running alongside of him, even though I'm not running. But I do walk 2 miles every morning. And speaking of that, you know that I usually on Mondays I go to water aerobics with Bertie, and Bertie was involved with her church for still something else, and so we didn't go again today. That's why I walked this morning. But I did walk my 2 miles, and I do walk 2 miles. I know that I could still run, but I have both my knees replaced, and I know that I could still do that, but I just don't want to put any extra strain on them, I guess. So I walk, and that's what I do. So West Virginia Running Don, once again, if I remember at the end of the night, I'll put their links down below. My second channel that I watch faithfully is Weight Watchers with Carrie. I'm so proud of Carrie. She's within 2 pounds of getting to her 100-pound loss, and she is so dedicated. When I started October, I had only less than 2 pounds, maybe 3 pounds to get to my 50-pound goal, and she had 8 pounds to get to her 100-pound goal. Now, it would be harder to get to a 100-pound goal than it is a 50-pound goal, yet she's going to accomplish that within the next week or two. She is so dedicated. She has such good food choices, and she has the added, well, it's a pleasure, I guess, but the incentive, the added incentive that her husband's on the program with her. So they do a lot of things together. They share their meals, and so that makes it just that much easier. She's really down to earth, and she lives in Wisconsin, which was right next. She's my neighbor because I live in Michigan, and I really look forward to seeing her channel, and I watch her channel every day. And my third channel that I watch faithfully is Valerie Reese. One of these days, I'm going to sneak myself into her luggage because she goes on so many great trips. She goes on cruises. She's been scuba diving. She just gets in her car and drives to New York to visit her family and surprise them. She lives in Virginia. And obviously West Virginia, Don lives in West Virginia. But she goes everywhere, and she goes on cruises all the time. And this past week, she's been at a rodeo. And I'm just so envious of her life. She just has such a good time. She really does. I am not much of a traveler, but once I get to my destination, I have a really good time. It's just that I dread going anywhere. I don't like driving anywhere. But once I'm there, I have a really good time, and I'm glad I did drive there. But she's got a lot of different. She shows food. She does taste tests of different. Food things. She did some Oreos, M&Ms. Just recently, she did some M&M candies, and she does a lot, which I so admire. Charity work at her church. She's always doing something at her church, and she's very strong, faith-based. And I would recommend her channel too. So those are my 3 choices. Tune in tomorrow to see what the second question is. You'll see tomorrow. Well, I'm back for my dinner. I did fairly well, better than I thought I would do. And I meant to tell you that yesterday I did think I had a bowl of broccoli soup and I had a Coke too. Forgot about that. Christy was sure to be putting that in the comments. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning.